All right, in this video, we're going to start with a blank slate and we're going to actually build the very top of your sales letter so you can see how you would go about using your proof picture and your proof statement to start the conversation, to start the sales process. Now, this would be like an example of a sales letter, but you could use the same principles, the same concepts in an email. You could use it in any other form. It could be a physical box or packaging. So don't get caught up in the fact that I'm just giving an example of a sales letter, because you can take these very same principles and apply them to many different forms of advertising. So the very first thing we do is we take our proof statement and we simply turn it into a statement, which will be like a headline at the top of the page. Now you could take any kind of headline swipe file, any headline examples. I went with something super simple here, just stating what happened. So fasting blood sugar drops 34 points in 24 hours after taking organic mineral. And then I put in quotes this comment here, I can even eat ice cream. Okay, so if you're a diabetic and you see this as a headline in a newspaper, or you see it on a sales letter, and you read it, assuming you see it and you read it, that's going to stop you in your tracks. Then what you follow up next with is the photos. Okay, and so your before and after picture would go here, and that immediately draws their eye down past that headline. If they look at the picture first, they're going to look up to see what is the stuff above. If they read the headline first, their eyes immediately going to drop down to see the picture, and they can immediately see the proof right away in less than a second. They'll see this when they land on the page. And then below the picture, like a caption, you can put more of your proof statement, and you might have to shorten it a little bit. You might have to just keep the main components here. So this is slightly edited from what we had in the previous proof statement, but you totally get the same concept here. My fasting blood sugar was 137. I took one organic mineral pill. The next morning I had a huge drop to 103. This trace mineral increases insulin sensitivity. This keeps blood sugar stable all night. I'm not on a strict diet. I even ate ice cream yesterday. Okay, so again, this is going to stop a diabetic in their tracks, and you're going to do it in the first 1, 2, 3 seconds. And then after this is at the top of the page, you would then continue with your story, the other parts of your offer, the terms, how they're going to purchase it, how are they going to pay for it, all those other things that you have to do to make a sale. The point of this is you get the proof so high up on the page, and you get all these elements up high on the page that you instantly grab the interest. Instead of going into some long copy or trying to talk your way into a sale, you instantly start to create belief in the person that visits your page. Now, I want to show you another reason this works the way we did this. Okay, so this entire course has been about this proof and this idea of making these proof images and how to set them up. And then we talked about this proof statement. But let me tell you the background on why this really does work from a scientific level. So you've no doubt heard me talk about Doug Hall and his book, Jumpstart Your Business Brain. I still consider it my favorite marketing business book of all time, of all the books that I've read. And that is because it's based so much in science and fact and proof. I still can't believe the book isn't a bigger deal in colleges and universities because of what he uncovered. So let me give you a very quick backstory if you're not familiar with him. We'll go really fast. First of all, he worked with companies like Tropicana, Taco Bell, Joseph Beth Booksellers, Honey Baked Ham Company, Walt Disney World, Procter & Gamble, American Express. The key thing that he did was he took and studied 4,000 products over the course of 5 years, looking for patterns statistically using real math to determine, was there something that you could predict what would cause people to buy? Why do people buy stuff? Can it be predicted? Now, he found through actual statistical analysis that there was really 3 things that mattered, and these 3 things could be used to make predictions for all future sales. And he was able to use these 3 things, build a computer program called Merwin, and that program can predict product success at nearly 100% rates. Now, what were the 3 things that he figured out? What were the 3 things that he found that were so important? I'm going to tell them to you. So the first thing was you have to be very specific and tell people an overt benefit. Tell them exactly what result they will get after they buy. Don't try and, hide it. It's got to be very specific. They need to be able to imagine it in their mind. Number 2, a real reason to believe. Tell them why they should believe they will get the result you're promising them. And the third thing was dramatic difference. Tell them why this is different than all the other ways they could get the result, or really all the other ways they might spend their money is really how they think about it. So dramatic difference. Now, I've color coded these because I want to show you in this section over here how this works. So overt benefit, tell them exactly what result they'll get if they buy. There it is right there, right at the top. We're saying your blood sugar is going to drop within 24 hours once you buy this product, okay? It doesn't get much more specific than that. Next, we get into real reason to believe. This is all about proof, and it's here and it's here. So it's the proof image that they can instantly see, and they're like, okay, this is real. This is, somebody actually took these pictures. This is working. And then we give the description to back up the photo, what's happening, so they can see what we're claiming this picture is showing. And they see that here. That's the real reason to believe. And then lastly, dramatic difference. There's quite a bit here. First of all, it's an organic mineral, and you won't need to do any kind of dieting. That's the second part. So this is dramatically different than what other options that are out there for lowering your blood sugar. And then down here, it's a trace mineral. So again, we're talking about it's something from the earth. It's not man-made. How it works, it increases insulin sensitivity. There's other ways you can lower blood sugar. So those will be the other alternatives. What makes this different is we actually increase your natural insulin sensitivity in your body. And so your body starts to work correctly again with sugar. All these green things here make this dramatically different. So that is why this works. So in our example, we used a sales letter, but this could be an ad. It could be the top of a blog post. It could be anything where you're trying to get someone to do something. The very first thing you do is present them with an overwhelming amount of proof that they will get the result that you're promising, the benefit that they want. Now, below this, obviously, you would have the rest of the elements of your offer and the things you're giving for the purchase. This would be where these things would come into play, like a guarantee, maybe logos of professional companies they would recognize, your phone information so they know they can get support, your great copywriting, your good design. Remember, though, that on the proof power curve, these things don't have the weight that this thing has at the very top. Because again, this is a person you don't know shows you that they got the result. Let's draw the arrow there. That is what we've done with putting this at the very top of the page. Instantly, we're showing them that we got the result, and now they start to believe that they will get the result as well. Now, if you were sending this to a list, you would actually bump up higher on the curve to right here. So if you already have trust established with a group of people, and then you send them an offer that's positioned in this way, you're moving even higher up the proof power curve. But let's go back and just assume this is cold traffic. They don't know you, and then you present the information in this fashion. You're already way up the curve, and you have a much better chance than if you just go straight into good copy or focus on just good design. By putting this up high on the page, you have the greatest chance of proving to them that they will get the result. And then when they take and use the product and they get the result, we get a situation like this where they use the product, they get the result, and then if you follow up with them and they give you their proof photos, just like this person did on Amazon, right? So this originally was a picture of a customer who purchased a product on Amazon, took the pictures, and then posted them on Amazon. Now those pictures then in turn become an additional piece of proof. You cannot have too much proof on a page if the target audience wants the benefit. So the more proof, the better. And as more and more people pile on the proof and pile on the images specifically, you get more and more of these elements on this proof power curve in place, and now your page is converting at a much, much higher rate than any other method you could use. As we wrap this up, what is your next step? So it's to create this tree right here and to develop the images that are going to be used for the different proof elements, and to decide then which of those you want to focus on. So you might want to go back and watch those videos if you need a refresher on that. I would love to be able to help you with this. So if you get stuck at any point, maybe it's the tree point, maybe it's trying to figure out the before and after photo, maybe you want some feedback on the photo itself, if it's a good photo, please email me, okay? I'll put the information down below this video. You can look down. Please email me and ask. I promise you, I would love to help. I'd love to take a look at it, maybe just a second pair of eyes, taking a look at what you've got. I'll give some feedback to you to make sure you can get this in place, and then try this out. If you already have an existing product, then what I would suggest is keep your existing version, split test the top of the page with this new method. If you don't have a product at all, this tree method right here is an excellent way to find a good product to sell based on skills and things you can already do. So that would be where I'd start if you don't have a product. If you're trying to find a good affiliate product, keep this tree in mind and examine existing affiliate products to see which of them demonstrate proof as soon as possible at the top of the page. And this is a great way to be able to analyze existing affiliate offers. And if you need any help at all, please send me an email. Let me know what you need. I will be more than happy to help you and get you pointed in the right direction so that you can put the Power of the Proof protocol into your business and make additional money.